Hi there, I'm the mechanic on Rogue. Today, I'm going to be changing the spark plugs on my 2016 Volkswagen Golf, equipped with the 1.8 liter TSI engine. Well, there's many variations. Most of the time, the idea of changing spark plugs is very similar across most vehicles. Let's get into it. A spark plug's job is to ignite the fuel-air mixture inside the combustion chamber. To do this, they will always be located in the top half of the engine, known as the cylinder head. Mine are easily accessible underneath this top engine cover and these coil packs. Sometimes it's not as straightforward. Other engine designs may require the removal of different components like the intake manifold or ignition wires to access them. With everything out of the way, it's time to remove the spark plugs. To do this, I'm going to use a socket with a very original name, the spark plug socket. Yeah, they really dug deep for that one. This is a special socket with a magnet built into it. The magnet holds the spark plug in place so that the plugs don't fall out of the socket when they are moved vertically. Cheaper varieties will use a rubber bushing for the same purpose. I don't like those because the rubber tends to wear out and will warp if oil gets on it. Removing the plugs is straightforward. They simply thread in and out. A couple things to take into consideration at this point. Make sure the engine is cool so that the threads in the head aren't damaged, and don't use excessive force in removing or installing the plugs, as this can indicate further problems. The last thing anybody wants is a snap plug or damaged threads, as this can be a costly ordeal. When in doubt, take it to a pro. Fortunately for me, mine came out with no problems. I'm going to take a minute here for some due diligence before installing my new plugs. First, I want to inspect my old ones for unusual wear or damage. Things like streaks in the porcelain body or fouling of the tip can tell me if there's additional problems with my engine. Second, I want to verify that the gap of my new plugs is in line with OEM spec. In the case of multi-electrode plugs, they can't be checked or adjusted. For all other plugs, I use a tool called a gap gauge. I know I'm on fire with the names today. I got links in the video description of this and the spark plug socket if anybody's interested, so don't forget to check those out. The spec for my car is 32 thousandths of an inch. Most plugs come preset from factory. If an adjustment is needed, I can use this hole in the gauge to open it more or press on the electrode carefully to close it. Now I can move forward with installing them. As I'm tightening them, I always tighten with my ratchet and extension directly overhead of the plug. If I were to lean to the side, I run the risk of stressing and cracking the porcelain, which would render the plugs useless. Also, whenever I'm unsure of how tight they should be installed, I always find a torque spec and use a torque wrench. I wouldn't want one of them coming loose while the engine is running. Finally, when all the plugs are installed, I can now reassemble everything that was removed to gain access to them. Now I'm ready for my moment of truth. Everything seems to be working, which is a good sign. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. MDR signing out.